Hello, everyone. It's now 19 days to the inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on the countdown. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Remember, you can join this conversation if you use the hashtag Inauguration Day. And remember to tag me when you do that on Twitter. Let's begin with an update on election petition tribunal sitting in the nation's capital, Abuja. Today, the Action People's Party withdrew its petition filed against the president-elect, the All Progressives Congress, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. At today's pre-hearing session, counsel to the APP, Obed Agu, told the tribunal that they had filed a motion and notice seeking leave of tribunal to withdraw that petition. The respondents, Bola Tinubu, the APC and INEC didn't object to that application. The tribunal subsequently dismissed the petition, making it 2 out of 5. I'm talking about the number of petitioners who have now withdrawn from this case. We're left with the PDP, the Labour Party, and the APM. The Presidential Tribunal has also adjourned the pre-hearing session on Peter Obi and the Labour Party's petition till 17th of May at the instance of the petitioners. Celestina Area has been watching this very closely and also covering this story since it began. She joins me live from Abuja. Celestina, it's the second petitioner opting out of this case within the first week of the presidential election petition court sitting, and the dismissal is sequel to both parties' withdrawal. Talk to us about the reasons for this action.
Nifemi, on Monday, the Action Alliance withdrew its petition. The reason for the withdrawal was because it ought not to have been brought before the tribunal. Their petition grounds was due to the fact that a factional presidential candidate of the Action Alliance was excluded from participating in the just concluded presidential election, and he came to court challenging his unlawful exclusion by INEC from the polls. But the tribunal made it known that unlawful exclusion from the polls is not in the purview of the tribunal to sit on or adjudicate on. It's a pre-election matter, and that is not reason for the tribunal to be set up. So when he got a hint from the court, he withdrew his petition. However, the candidate that was recognized by INEC, Hamza Al-Mustafa, that participated in the presidential election, told the tribunal that he did not object, or he did not object to the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or he did not challenge his declaration. So that was the reason that led to the withdrawal of the petition by a factional presidential candidate of the Action Alliance. And today, the Action People's Party withdrew their petition. We spoke to the counsel to the APP, although in open tribunal today, he didn't give any reason as to why he withdrew, or he's seeking to withdraw the petition. He only said that they've looked at the petition and his client has instructed him to withdraw the petition. So after today's pre-hearing session, when that of the APP was held, we spoke to Mr. Obed Agu, who is the counsel to the APP, and told us that he met with his client yesterday, and the client told him that, well, he has looked at this petition and found no grounds for the petition to be taken by the tribunal. And not to waste the precious time of the tribunal, he withdrew the petition, and he said this was done pursuant to paragraph 29, subsection 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act.
Of course, the client calls the shot, and then the counsel follows. But let's talk about, the reactions you captured in court today. The APC candidates' lawyers, we are told, did not object to the APP's request to withdraw. What reactions did you get from lawyers, and, particularly when these withdrawals were announced?
Well, the APC council, and that's of the president-elect and the vice president-elect, they were happy because it seems that petitioners are beginning to understand that according to INEC and what was declared after the presidential election, the election was conducted in a free, fair, and just and credible manner. So they said that they are still open to any petitioner who wishes to withdraw their petition, because that will save the court the precious time. Before it was 5 petitions, now we'll have 3 petitions, narrowing it down. So time to adjudicate on these cases will be quick, as to when it was 5 initially.
You know, the talk on the street is that this is a legal firework of some sort, but you are in the heat of it. What's the vibe in the court, particularly among, politicians and lawyers?
Okay, Nifemi, I can say the main event has not kick-started yet, because what we are having is pre-hearing session, more like the preliminary. And according to the Electoral Act, which is the paragraph 18 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act, the pre-hearing session needs to happen within 14 days, and the tribunal had its inaugural sitting on the 8th of May, which is on the Monday. And if we count 14 days, excluding our weekends, we'll be having next 2 weeks Thursday, which is 25th, for the pre-hearing session to elapse. So far, all parties are answering the questions in the pre-hearing information sheet CF008 brought by the tribunal, and the respondents are responding, and also they are filing different applications that should be taken before hearing commences proper. The INEC, on their own part, they filed applications, about 3 applications. Counsel to the INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, senior advocate of Nigeria, told the tribunal that they have filed 3 applications, but will move the application at the appropriate time. Also, counsel to the APC filed an application, 2 applications, one that was filed against the PDP's petition, challenging the competence of the petition, and also dismissing the PDP's response to the answers in their pre-hearing information sheet. And they have also filed a petition challenging filed an application rather, challenging the petition by the Labour Party. So all parties now, they are filing their application. The Labour Party, the PDP also filed an application seeking that the proceedings of the tribunal be televised live. That was held yesterday, and the tribunal adjourned to 11th of May, which is tomorrow, saying that hopefully the PDP will have its date to move the application. So far so good. This is what has happened at the tribunal so far.
The Electoral Act is clear as to the duration for this tribunal sitting, but there's also much talk about, expediting this petition. Do you get the sense that these judges are under pressure to deliver in time?
Not at all, because it's 180 days, and the pre-hearing session is still within the 14 days, 180 days. Parties are filed, processes, they are responding, and we could say maybe if it was 5 petitions, it would have been difficult for the panel. But I believe and I know they are equal to the task, because now it's 3 petitions. The chairman of the panel, in his inaugural speech, said that all parties should please behave. Let me put it that way. They shouldn't bring any frivolous or unnecessary application that would impede or truncate the process of the pre-hearing session, and also when hearing commences proper. So saying that the other pressure, not at all. Now the workload is, I can say, a bit less, from 5 to 3. So now the focus is now on the petition of the Labour Party, of the APM, and the PDP.
Let's talk about the timeline of these proceedings. What we've followed in the past 3 days are specifically to sort preliminary applications. But what is this expected to proceed to substantive cases?
Well, the substance of the case will be the issues canvassed by every petitioner. The 3 petitioners left, their grounds at which they are challenging, or they have challenged the outcome or the declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. The tribunal chairman told every party that to quickly decide on these petitions and to give a free flow of the petition sitting or proceedings, rather, that they should identify the documents or the evidences they will be objecting to, and the ones they will not be objecting to, and the questions for determination and the grounds at which they want to move before the court. More or less, say they should consolidate their processes and their application. So far, when the proper hearing commences, we would know the grounds at which the Labour Party, the PDP, and the APM, they are challenging the presidential election, and the evidences and the witnesses they want to call, and the evidences they have tendered to prove their case, and also the preliminary objection filed by the president-elect, the INEC, and and other respondents in the various petition. So far so good. When proper hearing commences, we would know the issues canvassed by these petitioners.
There have been calls for live broadcast of election petition court proceedings. Has that been mentioned at all during the pre-hearing?
Well, that's the application by the PDP. Live broadcast is not usually the practice of the Court of Appeal, which houses the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal. Live broadcast is done on Judgment Day, the last presidential election judgment that was delivered by the tribunal, that was in 2019. Yes, some media houses were able to televise the proceedings live, but televising the proceedings of the day live, that is not usually the method or the way of the tribunal. So we don't know if the tribunal will give a nod to the application by directing that the proceedings, the day-to-day proceedings, be televised live. But what we know is, say for the judgments, the day-to-day proceedings are not televised live. But today, counsel to the Labour Party also show his weight behind the application filed by the People's Democratic Party seeking to televise the proceedings live. He said that it is of national importance and not all Nigerians can be at the tribunal. They have the right to see it live, what is happening in the tribunal and how the processes are being carried out.
It seems we'll be getting some days of covering this story. When is the adjournment date? What do we expect on that day?
Okay, well, that of the Labour Party was held today but adjourned to 17th of May, which is next week, Wednesday. That was done on the instance of the counsel to Peter Obi and the Labour Party. He said that they still have applications to file and serve, and they need to file it, and the respondents needs to respond. So it will be of no help to the tribunal if they keep coming and adjourn unnecessarily. So the tribunal needs to adjourn and give them time to file and serve the petitioners. This, he said, was a unanimous agreement by counsel to INEC, counsel to APC, and the president and vice president-elect. So the tribunal said, okay, fine, we still have time. We'll still have 2 weeks from now, by 25th of May, the pre-hearing session would have been closed. But so if you said you want to adjourn to 17th of May, it's fine. So the tribunal adjourned the petition by Labour Party to 17th of May for further pre-hearing. Yesterday, it adjourned that of the PDP and the APM to 11th of May, which is tomorrow. Initially, the tribunal said the panel will convene at 2 p.m. But today, since the withdrawal of the APP, he said, okay, now we have time, and less work for us. It's not 3 petitions. We can take it tomorrow as early as 9 a.m. So parties, councils will be at the tribunal at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That is the PDP and the APM.
TVC Judiciary Correspondent Celestina Area, thank you for your time. We'll leave it with a recap of all that happened earlier today at the Presidential Election Tribunal in Abuja, and we'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
Out of the 5 petitions filed against the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, 2 petitioners have now withdrawn their petition. On Monday, the Action Alliance withdrew its petition, and today, the Action People's Party has now followed suit. At today's pre-hearing session, counsel to the APP Obed Agu told the tribunal that the party has filed a motion on notice seeking leave of the tribunal to withdraw its petition. This, he said, is brought pursuant according to paragraph 29 subsection 1, 2, 3, 4 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act. The respondents, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, APC, INEC, did not object to the application. The tribunal subsequently dismissed the petition.
Well, the grounds is nothing more than instruction from my client. I was instructed, and I had a brief to file a petition. I filed the petition. I also have another brief to withdraw the petition. And that's the grounds. As a lawyer, I was prepared to take up this matter to the last minute of it. But things change. The brief is not mine. The brief is that of my client.
The tribunal also held a pre-hearing session on the petition filed by Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi, however, adjourned to 17th May for further pre-hearing on the instance of the petitioner. Counsel to Labour Party told the tribunal that due to pending applications to be filed and served, it is important that the matter be adjourned to 17th May. He noted it was a unanimous decision by the petitioner and the respondents, being INEC, APC, the president and vice president-elect. The tribunal subsequently adjourned to 17th May for further pre-hearing. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
Away from the court now, let's talk about some politicking taking place ahead of Inauguration Day. Days after the APC announced its consensus list for the leadership of the 10th National Assembly, some aggrieved members of the House of Representatives, led by Deputy Speaker Ahmed Wase, have visited the APC National Working Committee, outrightly rejecting the zoning arrangement. They are now asking that the party allows the leaders to emerge the same way the president-elect emerged at the party primaries, by zoning it and allowing members to vote. They've also alleged that Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila is imposing an unpopular member on them.
It is we and the conscience and our covenant with the people of Nigeria that will be in the hallowed chamber. So it is better, it is not let the wrongs that is meted. That thing is wrong. So let the wrong that is meted be righted. Unless this is done and justice is done, sir, our party should not hope that our loyalty will be guaranteed at the detriment of justice, peace, and fairness. We will respect justice, unity, and peace, equity in the chamber. But only if your instruction is in line with this principle of our party. So I do not hope that we that come here will succumb to any instruction and any directive given to us.
Person the speaker is trying to even pick. There are some of our colleagues in the same assembly that even don't know him, sir. That's the truth. I'm not lying. If today, assume today, the party said, we've zoned to Northwest, I have to sit and think, because now the party is zoning the Deputy Senate President and the Speaker to the same zone. We've been in this assembly, sir. There's no time two presiding officers are zoned to one area.
Habida Lawal was at that meeting in Abuja. She joins me now live for details. It's getting more dramatic, Habida. How many of these aggrieved lawmakers visited the National Working Committee today? And what exactly was their request?
Well, Nifemi, you'll agree with me that since the APC released the consensus list on Monday, it has been a roller coaster of reactions. You have people aligning with the party, and you have some saying that it is not in line with the legislative principle. And today you have some members visited the National Working Committee of the party, making known their stand, and then saying they are going to take action if the party does not review this consensus list. Out of 10 people that 10 members that visited the party secretariat today, you have 5 of them are contesting the speakership seat from different zones in the country, and each presented their case to the national chairman and the entire NWC of the APC.
So how did the NWC respond in this regard?
Well, the national chairman on behalf of the LWC, Abdullah Adamu, said that it is going to go through the cases that have been presented. It is going to meet and, of course, consult widely with party members across the country to ensure that everyone is carried along in its final decision in the coming days. The inauguration of the 3rd National Assembly, we still have well over 30 days to that, and it hopes to come up with something favorable that is going to be beneficial to all party members. Again, the party does not want to have a recurrence of 2015, that is the 8th National Assembly, where the party did not come up with a sharing formula, and you had different party members making it a free-for-all, and they made an arrangement with the opposition party, and of course the party's candidates eventually did not emerge in that assembly.
So we also spoke with Felix Morka, APC spokesman on the news last night. where he explained that the party leadership is not imposing but providing direction for the members. Let's listen to him for a bit. Abida.
Yesterday, we made this announcement of the zoning for the presiding officer positions of the incoming 10th Assembly. Now, the announcement itself was the outcome of a very protracted process of engagement, of consultation with leaders of the party, with some of the members elect who have signified interest in contesting for the various principal offices of the National Assembly. Now, as with any process, you cannot have 100%, if you will, buy-in. What we've done is to offer some direction to our members in terms of what should guide them. Now, keep in mind, the party itself is not able to vote at the election of these officers. These officers, by our constitution, have the right and the duty to elect their own members to serve in these offices. What we're doing as a political party, because keep in mind, for them who were elected on the platform of APC, we are the party. We sponsored them. They are our elected members. So we have, I believe, a duty to offer some guidance to them. If you read the statement that I put out, we were very careful in making sure that everyone understood that this was an ongoing process. The consultation in this regard is continuing. And don't forget that we have upwards of 30 days, if not more, before the National Assembly is to be inaugurated. So we have plenty of time to continue the consultation.
Felix Morka there, National Publicity Secretary of the APC, drawing a line between enforcing candidates and giving party members a sense of direction as to how to vote. But Habida, earlier we saw the members of House of Reps saying that the party should toe the line of the presidential primary zone, but do not give names. But is this opposition coming only from members of the House of Reps? What about the Senate?
To some extent, the APC has a lot of housekeeping to do with the National Assembly, but most importantly, I think the focus and the disagreement lies solely on the House of Representatives. The Senate has some sort of decorum in this case, but they are saying that the Deputy Senate President is zoned to the northwest, and you cannot have the speakership zoned to the same zone as the Deputy Senate President. So this is what they are concerned about, that having two zones occupying two critical positions as the leaders of the 10th National Assembly, to them is not acceptable. And you'll also agree with me that other zones are still clamoring for inclusion, especially the North Central. So these are the things they want the party leadership to look at. And you will hear the members that visited firmly saying that the party will not be with them on the floor when this process is ongoing. It is better the party do the right thing and ensure that all is carried along in its consultation process. Again, the press release on Monday stated that the party only released the consensus list for guidance. It is not dying cast. So there's a possibility that it will review some certain process and then come up with something favorable for the remaining members. Nifemi.
Habidalawa live for us in Abuja. Good to see you. Well, we're monitoring and watching closely developments within the APC, bearing in mind what happened in 2015, where none of its anointed candidates emerged, both at the Senate and the House of Reps. Does APC have enough time to fix this challenge? And has it learned the lessons from some many years ago? Habida, thank you so much for joining us. See you again. That's our show today. Thank you for being a part of it. You can watch a repeat broadcast at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And also follow us on our social media handles. Remember to tag at Nifemi Okutu on Twitter for more on this development. Thank you for watching. See you again tomorrow.